everyone, and welcome to the final part of the Sonic Labyrinth playthrough, and it's time for Labyrinth of the Factory. This is the third zone in the game, and this is where the difficulty really starts to ramp up a little bit. And it's not so much the difficulty, it's just more so memorizing where the heck everything is and figuring out how to get through this place. So it does take me a little bit of time to get through the Labyrinth of the Factory, I will admit. It's not so much the first act that I recall giving me trouble, it's more so the second act. There's a lot of these bumper-looking platforms that you gotta ride, a lot of teleporters that take you nowhere, and just a whole lot of things around here that can kind of just take you nowhere if you don't know what you're doing. But I have all the keys now. I will try to find my way safely and soundly to the goal. No, that's the start, not the goal. I'm looking for the goal. It's around here somewhere, of course. If I remember right, it's down here's the goal. Alright, yeah, good stuff. It's gonna take care of Act 1, or Zone 3-1. I feel like I was able to get through that one pretty reasonably. But now it's time for 3-2, and this is the one that I'm not a fan of. I do not like this level. This is without a doubt my least favorite level in the entire game, just because it's such a pain in the ass to get through. I feel like there's just so much meandering around and so easy to get lost, and every time I think I'm going the right way, I just end up going the wrong way. But no worries, folks, because eventually I do figure out how to get through this mess. Once again, I'm really glad that they turned off the seizure vision for these invincibilities. I haven't played through Sonic 2 Game Gear on the Origins collection to see if they turned it off for that one. Because I do remember I had to put up a warning in my Sonic 2 Game Gear playthrough because of all the flashing lights. But if it means anything, so far I have one key. It's just a matter of getting to the rest of them. And let's see, is this one of those ones? Yeah, I hate those. I hate those so much. I do not like those platforms that just decide to disappear and they only go one specific direction, so that makes it even more annoying. And I think I might have taken a wrong I took a wrong route. I took a wrong turn in Albuquerque. But alright, let's see here. Well, there's where I started. Is this one? Okay. Good. Is this? Nope. That's not a key. I don't think that even did anything. What the heck? Okay, I guess that's one of the other items I forgot to mention. Sometimes the question mark just gives you nothing. But eventually I'll get this sorted out. There's a second key. There's the goal. But I am one key short of being able to make it through the goal post. Now luckily those goalposts have not been shifted, so I don't have to worry about that, and I just need to make it through this. But yeah, this is probably the only level in the game that I'd really take points off of Sonic Labyrinth for. I just don't think this one's executed very well, and it's just a confusing mess. Luckily, according to the timer, I still have plenty of time, though. I like how the timer is actually a bit inaccurate compared to the actual elapsed time in real time. It seems like the game's clock is moving a little bit slower. But yes, everything below those bumpers and these platforms is just bottomless pits. But not necessarily bottomless pits. Eventually, Sonic will fall to his death, and there's a random spike pit to add insult to injury. Still need one more key. Where the heck is that key? No? Maybe it's this one? I don't know, this crap's kind of confusing sometimes. I'm just as lost as you are, folks. But don't worry, we'll get through this together. Back to the start. And we're back to the house. Oh no. It's one of them stupid disappearing platforms. I'm starting to run pretty low on time too, so that's a concern. But hey, I found the key at least. So that's all good. But now for my next trick is getting to the end. Will I be able to make it to the... well, I got a little bit more time now, so that's good. I'm just wondering, will I be able to make it to the end of this stage without running out of time? I would certainly hope so. Thanks to the magic of editing, even if I did run out of time or die, y'all probably wouldn't know it because the life counter still says 9. But I do feel like I'm... yeah, there we go, alright, yeah, that wasn't so terribly bad. It took a lot longer to get through that mess than I thought it would, but it's all good, folks, and don't have to deal with Zone 3-2 again. You notice my speed bonus is even lower. Okay, it's every 30,000 points you get an extra life. I heard that life jingle. Alright, let's see what 3-3 is all about. I actually... after dealing with that pain that was 3-2, I feel like this is a nice breath of fresh air because the keys are actually pretty easy to get to, and then the goal being right by the start helps a lot too. Now there is that one key that will throw you off if you don't know about this here. You gotta wait for that platform to show up, and it'll take you over to this teleportation device here. Teleportation, yeah! Wah! Shibba-da-bop-bop. Ooh. And that worm over there, whatever that thing is. That robot worm. He's got the second key. Give me that key, wormy. Oh! If he doesn't try to take my keys... ooh. Okay. Now you got a few seconds. You got a few seconds after getting hit to retrieve those keys. And... yeah, I got very lucky here because it'll try to throw you off the floor there. And I pretty much have to take this disappearing platform over here. I can't just go the teleportation thing. I can't take it back. As much as I would like to. That's just not the way it goes here. If I can, oh man. Now that stupid worm's gonna respawn. Oh, don't go sending me off the floor. Whoa. Is this just gonna keep happening every time that I end up back on this floor? Whoa. Alright, it's all good. We're good. Alright, now to get that third and final key. I guess technically the second key, since it's the one in the middle, but... alright, that should be around here somewhere. And there it is. There it is, alright. The third and final key. Now I'll just mosey my way back on over to... okay, that was pointless. Why even put that there? Why even design that? But anyways, I'm gonna make my way back on over to the goal. Which whenever I see goal written in a goal section like this in games, my mind immediately goes to Super Monkey Ball. Now that's a playthrough I gotta do one of these days. I've never really... okay, I take that back. I played Monkey Ball 2 once. Me and a couple of friends did a multiplayer sesh. But I'm more familiar with Super Monkey Ball 1. And there was a bit of a slight jump cut there, so apparently this boss gave me a hard time. Slide on down the slope. Here I go down the slope. Zip zap zip wop. You like to play Pokemon? Eventually I will do a Pokemon Let's Play over here on the channel. I would really like to be able to do that one of these days. Of course, thinking back to when I said in the early days of the Fromark Plays series that I wasn't going to do that, it's mostly just because of my lack of resources at the time. But anyways, here's the next boss. You gotta dodge these little spike guys that he throws at you, and then the gigantic version of the spike dude here. Ooh. And I think that's what got me. I got myself stuck and then got myself hit, and that's why I got killed in that last jump cut, but no worries, folks. That's gonna do it for Labyrinth of the Factory. So that's some good stuff. 3-4 is clear. And somehow I still get credited with 25 rings. Anyways, here's Labyrinth of the Castle. This is the 4th and final zone in the game. And it starts off easy enough. Labyrinth of the Castle 1's pretty easy to get everything in. I feel like Labyrinth of the Castle 2 is also pretty easy. And the 3rd Labyrinth of the Castle, I make it look easy when I recorded it. Not to brag, not to brag. You'll see when I get there, but I feel like that one's more so just a memory-based thing. Sometimes it just comes down to memorization. You gotta play this enough, gotta deal with enough trial and error, and sometimes that's just how it goes in the world of video gaming. But alright, yeah, so there's 3 keys for 4-1. And try to find the goal. Which I think it was up here somewhere. Yeah, it's up this way. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Knocking this one out pretty quick. I mean, I'm still got over half of the video left here, so I imagine things are going to get kind of confusing in one of these next stages. Plus, the credits roll usually takes a couple of minutes to get through. But anyways, 4-2. 4-2. Let's see what I can do in 4-2. This is another one where just kind of like 2-2, there's a bunch of random rooms that you can get sent about. Now that switch there, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be off. It's either supposed to be on or off. Either way, I'll figure it out soon enough. What that does is it shuts off a barrier. Yeah, there's the barrier right by the goal. So I gotta turn that switch off. Or no, I gotta turn it back on, I mean. It's one of those. I gotta do something with the switch. Oh, it's more of those teleporters. I like the ones here because Sonic just kind of sinks into it. It's like quicksand. Ah, yes, I still need to activate that switch again. So I'll go deal with that. Don't think yeah, I don't have any of the keys yet. This must be one of the ones where things kind of get a bit confusing here. I'd say this is probably the one that takes up a majority of the part. Not counting 3-2. But alright, the switch is reactivated. I'll go get that key now. Yeah, there we go. And now I'm gonna go see if I can find those other 2 keys. See if... Oh man, get out of here, worm. It's with all these robotic worms. At least it looks like a worm. A worm with like a rhino horn? It's like a rhino worm? Something, anyway. It's something like that. Good old Sonic Labyrinth. Once again, I want to point out that this is certainly not the worst Sonic game you could play. There are much, much worse ones. I don't feel like this should even be in the top 5 worst Sonic games. Now, Sonic Blast, that's not a very good game. I would consider that worse than this. I would consider Sonic 06, I don't know. I'm not as familiar with Sonic 06 as most people are. I haven't played that one as much. I just know that it's universally hated. But there is that Project 06 fan game that kind of fixes everything wrong with Sonic 06. That might be worth checking out one of these days. If they ever finish doing what they need to do for that. I like how Sega has very lax regulations on their IPs. They kind of just let the fans do what they're not gonna do. Unlike Nintendo with all their cease and desists and all their hordes of lawyers and all their nonsense. They can be a little bit carried away sometimes. But anyways, I got all 3 keys. Eventually I'll make my way back over. Oh yeah, whenever you pause the game, you can look around a little bit. It's not the most useful, but I completely forgot about that until just now. Alright, yeah, there's the goal. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be for. I don't know what that clock is all about. I think it's just if you beat the level in a certain amount of time, birds will fly out. I'm not really entirely sure. Just some neat little extra. But it is time for the final main level of the game. It's time for Labyrinth of the Castle 4-3. And this one gave me a pretty hard time through the first several practice runs, just because I could not for the life of me memorize any of it. But since then, I was able to get it memorized to record it, and I feel like I was able to scoot on through here relatively reasonably. Let's see here. But it's another one of those ones where it's just a bunch of random doorways that take you to random spots. I'll take all the time I can get. You get those icicles that fall down. Which must be a snow castle or something. Alrighty, let's see here. I feel like there is a key around here somewhere. Every time I think I'm right there in the doorway, I just kept bonking off of it. Alright, so, okay. There's a key down here. Here we go. And I do know where the other one is as well. I can just not get hit by the spikes. A lot of this stuff, I mean, a lot of it just blends together and looks samey, so it's easy to get lost sometimes. That's the only thing about this game. I feel like it's a similar issue with Sonic 3D Blast that I have. Although I really do like Sonic 3D Blast, I just don't feel like I have quite a solid enough attention span to play 3D Blast in one sitting. It's a fine enough game, it's just kind of boring. But it's a decent game, though. I really like the Sega Saturn version. It adds that 3D special stage and has better music. Well, arguably better music. Okay, I don't need the goal yet. I just need to find my way back to wherever... Okay. Just need to find my way back to the first key, which I think is in here. You gotta be careful not to fall down the waterfall before you can make it over here. Alright, alright. That takes care of that. Now I just need to find my way to the goal. I feel like this will probably be the most effective way for me to do that. Alright, yeah, good stuff, yes. The goal, time for the goal. Time to get out of here. Time to get out of here. Alright. 4-3 is clear. Like I said, I feel like I made it look kind of easy there, folks, because my last few practice runs weren't quite as easy to get through. But alright, it's time for the final boss. Well, after this little slip slide segment. You gotta look out for them spikes. Those clouds will just kind of catch you for a second there. I feel like I'm probably gonna play through this again before too long, because to me, it's a decent game. But it is boss time. I assume with this final boss will probably be Dr. Robotnik himself. Yeah. He sends down some miniature Robotnik bombs or whatever. There's no lamp oil or rope to go with those bombs, but you just gotta wait for him to sling his bombs a few times. Wait for him to sling another bomb, and then when he lands, you can hit him. Now, sometimes it's kind of hard to land a shot even when he's on the ground, because the depth perception is kind of weird sometimes. Like, I feel like I should have been able to hit him there, but I somehow didn't. And once again, somehow I did not. But no worries, because I mean, like every other boss, he just pretty easy to take down after a few hits. Now, there are two phases to this boss. Eventually, he'll break out the laser beam. Yeah, okay. Yeah, now it's time for phase 2. Now this is where the intensity really picks up, or what they call the boss pinch. Although the music doesn't intensify. But, yeah, just gotta keep looking out for them lasers. And, no. See, eventually I will defeat him. I think this one kind of changes the, how usually in the classic games you had to hit Eggman 8 times to defeat him. I feel like this one kind of changes that around a little bit. But yeah, Dr. Robotnik has been defeated, folks. I believe that was a Chaos Emerald I picked up. Not quite sure. It looks a little weird compared to the other ones. And I managed to crack 100,000 points. Cool. Eggman runs away, dropping another bizarre-looking emerald. And yeah, the day is saved, folks. All zones clear. I did it. Hey, it may not be perfect, but it's done. It may not be pretty, but that's the way I did it. And as per usual, just gonna let the credits roll. Give that due credit. And yeah, my final thoughts on Sonic Labyrinth. So, I think it's a pretty good game. I would give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. I mean, it's not a great game, but it is good. It's a good, quick Sonic game to get through. It's not ball-bustingly difficult. Sure, there's a few annoying parts here and there, but it's certainly not the worst Sonic game you could play, folks. There's much worse out there, for sure. Not sure yet when I will record another Sonic game over here on the channel. I think Sonic Drift 2 would be next, and then eventually I'll have to get around to that Tails Adventures. If I'm going chronologically, that is. K-Mine! Alrighty, folks. A secret command. There's that Fuji 1 Go. I mentioned that earlier. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't think anybody's ever figured that out. I don't know. But anyways, folks, this is Fromark once again with the Sonic Labyrinth, and I'll see you in whatever it is I decide to do next. See ya!